believe in your skill and your potential to be a good player, because I know there were times when I didn't think I could do it and I wanted to give up, but then my dad, you know, he was there, he pushed me, he would wake me up for training in the morning. When the last day before I had, you know, shots weren't dropping. You know, you just need to have, and you need to have that self-drive, but you also need to have support. So seek for support from your parents. Don't be shy to bring up the idea of, you know, can I go for training today? Or maybe can I get a basketball and be dribbling? Because you need to be able to not make excuses for yourself. That's a thing that a lot of people subconsciously do. They're like, well, I don't have a court at home, so I can't do anything. But you can get a basketball and learn to dribble, you know. Then when you actually are able to access a court, you'll have a starting point, you know. And also to, you know, just if you love something, give it your all. Because I know there was a time when I played basketball, but I didn't love it, so I was just, you know, going with the flow, not really, I didn't have any sense of direction, I didn't have any goal. But when I started setting goals for myself and actively trying to reach them, that's when I actually started seeing results, like with the national team. I set that as a goal, and you know, it paid off when I got to play, and also the Kenya camp. Because the second I came back from Cairo, you know, I was sleeping one morning, I had slept, I'd come back, it was the second day we'd been back. I hear a knock at my door, it's my dad. Get up, coach is coming in 30 minutes, be ready. You know, you have to be able to do that for yourself, or have someone who's willing to do that for you. And you know, just look for opportunities to play. I know there's like a lot of people who can't, you know, it's not as simple as just waking up, you know, getting a driver to take you somewhere. But you know, look around, maybe your area, there's like a place you can go for pickup. Maybe you can borrow someone's ball, you know, just if you want it enough, you'll be able to put in the work. Yeah.
Quite something very interesting, very big surprises that were happening last weekend. Raise Life coming up to shock, Tropical Royals, there were Total Boys also. So it is quite a jungle down there, very unpredictable. Your take?
Last weekend we hosted Pai Kamoga, last or the other weekend, and he was telling us that the D-League is a very exciting league, okay, because you never really know what you're walking into. You think Team A is going to beat Team B, and you know everything turns the other way around, okay? There are teams that have actually been working out, the Raise Life guys. There are people who didn't sleep. They knew there was a possibility of the league returning, and you know they kept working out. So as the league is going on now, surprises are happening. Livingston lost last weekend, a game that they had
they are prepared for very what would I say, urgently and eagerly, and they needed that win.
And you remember their manager promised to give them something if they want.
Their manager promised them huge incentive when they get that game, and even put it out there on record.
Yeah, but they ended up losing the game, and that just goes to show you that the D-League is a very interesting league, and it's good for Ugandan basketball, especially when it comes to the aspects of marketing. Many companies are looking for that exciting element, and I think it's a good way that they're going. Today's games, hopefully when the heavens close, there'll be more exciting action that is happening later in the afternoon. Yeah.
The most anticipated game for today, our savior up against Tropical Royals, and Tropical Royals head coach Bernard told me that it is a do or die.
Yeah.
And he assured me this time, if the boys mess up, I'm firing someone. Do you think coaches should have that kind of mentality? Tell me, if they mess up in court, I am firing someone.
Yeah, I mean, if it's a game that you really need to win, okay, there are ways of motivating players. Some you'll say, okay, you know what, if we win, we're giving you a bonus. Others, you tell them, we lose, we are firing people.
When you look at the stat sheet and realize that you actually were costing the team much more,
you might be on the line for a firing.
Yeah, quite interesting that the D-League is back, and excitement is up there, and the basketball fans and basketball stakeholders. And it's also a big improvement because it works as a stepping stone and litmus paper for the National Basketball League management to show NCS that actually we can have our National Basketball League back. We have followed the SOPs, and we can actually close out funds. However, to the fans out there was a bit of frustration, disappointment. Remember, the games were supposed to be streamed on the FUBA Facebook pages and the D-League pages. However, that didn't happen. So the fans just have to rely on results. They cannot see what's going on. They cannot see which player actually was turning over the ball and why, who made which wrong decision. So there, I think it is to the lower league management committee. It is something that they should work on urgently.
There's when we did history in high school, there was something about the Bourbon monarchs that there's something about that they learned nothing after all they had gone through. And when the pandemic began, basketball was stopped. Then we started playing again, and it was a golden opportunity actually to move basketball into the media arena. Okay, to basically put it out on social media, on YouTube, and all these things. And you think by now, FUBA would have learned their lesson, because even when the NBL games were happening at that time, there were some games that were streamed, some were streamed halfway, and all these things. And we really had a big gap of where we should have planned, knowing that we're not going to allow people to, be physically there and watch the games. Then we still need to show them the game. So they should have actually put that in the plan for these D-League games. Exciting as they are, okay? I don't want to hear that they were exciting. I want to see the excitement there.
I want to see how Tropical Royals lost by 4 points, yet they were leading all through, and last minute the table flips and ends up ending 68-57. Yes.
And you see, it also plays, for example, now Betway. Let's say Betway wanted to sponsor a team down in the D-League, okay? What videos are you going to show them? Are they going to depend on word of mouth for something they haven't seen?
Or a media report?
So it's something they actually should have considered. Okay, finances play a big part in this, but still, I mean, get a volunteer with his camera and say, you know what, we're paying you some 10K, take for us a game, and let's put it out there. So it's something they should have planned for, which is not happening now.
Or perhaps looking also, because to every side there's always a bright side. Now they've increased on the venue, because previously when the league resumed, it was only in Nakasero Primary School court, which is well gazetted. There's a gate and you can hold out fans. However, this Saturday they've increased, and the KIU courts have also been added on. So some of the games actually are taking place at KIU. Now that is also going to serve as a big test to see, can the lower league management committee close out the funds? Because remember, the KIU court is an open court.
The good thing, KIU is not in the lower leagues.
But they have a few students who are at the campus.
But it's not as big as, remember in the NBL, every time KIU was playing, even the security that was put there
was also watching.
Yes, so it's good that maybe KIU is not taking part, and yeah, I mean, they could control the crowd. And
to our guest this afternoon, Mr. Moses Opio, what is your breakdown and analysis of the D-League as the games are going on?
The D-Leagues, they are quite exciting. Yeah, I love what is happening. The only thing that we can't see really much. I haven't actually really watched those games, but I follow them as much as I can. Yes, I've been following mostly Tropical Royals, and I'm thinking they should come up.
You believe that it's a team that should be in the upper division?
Yes. I've been following them for quite some time. Yeah, their recruitment and everything. I also spoke to Brian Rugendo. Yeah, he has been trying to pull the strings together, trying to get the puzzles, the pieces, to put the pieces together. Yeah, so his target, I think, is to come up.
Yeah, the target is definitely to come up, because with when you look at their setup and the number of sponsors that they have, definitely staying down is not an option.
Yes.
And next season, when it kicks off, it's going to be something very interesting and very, very competitive. Remember, no team is going. We reset, and now all the teams are back.
Yes.
So, and the D-League still has to promote 2 teams.
Yes, that is
so
true.
it was finalized that next season 4 teams will be relegated, so that they can balance it back. So you can imagine how that is going to be. I can see Emma is wondering if Falcons will be able to
be safe
when there are 4 teams which are going to be relegated.
Falcons is safe, very safe.
Yes, Falcons seems safe. Maybe we talk about Warriors, who didn't actually participate at all. Sharing didn't participate at all. So in my thinking, I think those are the ones who should go down, not the ones who at least participated.
Well, they have they got a window, and now they are back. And Warriors management told me that they will have a team ready. Let the public and the fans just wait. They will have a team ready by the time they say the season is resuming.
So what happens to the lower div, the teams that are supposed to come up?
The teams that are supposed to come up are going to be promoted. So there's going to be an extra 2 teams up in the National Basketball League.
Okay.
So our viewers out there, remember we are live on Facebook and on our YouTube channel. Feel free to send in your comments, your remarks, and your views on next season having 4 teams to be relegated, because there will be an additional 2 teams. Before we go into the main issue as to why Mr. Opio is here, Emma, another milestone. First of all, it started out as a very big thing, the first Ugandan player to be signed by an NBA team. Then when they were in training camp, he didn't make the cut. We're speaking about Silverback center Ishmael Reinwright. He was dropped. But then, like they say, when one door closes, another opens. He gets a 2-year contract with the Phoenix Suns.
I don't say he was cut from the Raptors. Okay, they had so many people playing the same type of basketball and the same position he was playing, so it didn't really make sense for the Raptors to add another player who plays the same kind of way that other guys play. Like, so if I have 4 guys playing the same way,
the same defensive role,
there is no reason why I should add one more. Okay, yeah, but like you said, when one door closes, another door opens. Now Phoenix Suns is a team that needs a guy like him. Okay, so he fitted perfectly into the Phoenix Suns, and I believe that when the Raptors cut him, I knew for a fact that an NBA team had to pick him up. Either an NBA team or a G League team had to pick him up, because he has shown over a period of time, when he was still playing in France, then playing for the Silverbacks, he has actually shown that, you know, he deserves to be at that NBA level. Yeah, so kudos to him. It's a proud moment for Uganda, first Ugandan to be in the NBA. At least we can say now we have a foot somewhere.
We have a foot somewhere in the best league, basketball league in the world. We'll return after this short break with Mr. Opio telling us what they are cooking for the game of basketball.
didn't know that one day I would be the coach of Makerere. Yeah, but when I was in high school, I always thought about it because I loved the game so much. And I wasn't playing it because my parents would not allow me to play it the way I wanted it. My guardians. I told one of my friends, it's called Gerard Abidravo. I told him, one day I want to become either a coach or an umpire. And he laughed and was like, yeah, maybe you can make it. So when I became the coach of Namilyango, he was the first man to tell me that, man, congratulations. As you said it, here it comes. And so when I reached Makerere, I didn't think I would be the coach at Makerere University because it was a university and there are so many people with more experience than I do. But because of love of coaching the game, out of the experience I had got, I used to go and sit there, watch, and I'm like, okay, this is that. And remember, I had also coached the girls of Hilton in my first year. So I knew how to handle girls, and I also knew how to handle boys because I had gotten both experiences. So after a while, in 2019, Makerere was going for university games in Chisoi. And incidentally, Coach Albert was not around. So they needed, so I volunteered. I volunteered. They were going with a coach, with you know, Makerere has 2 coaches, for the boys and for the girls. So I saw that as an opportunity. So I went to the sports union, to the sports department, and I told them I want to volunteer. I just want to go there and volunteer and help where there is need. They gave me the opportunity. They were like, all right, you can do that. Well, the only thing I wanted was where I can sleep and my lunch and supper, which was very much available. So I also went in like any other coach, but it was my first time with all the pressure and I wanted results. Fortunately, something happened. We played Kumba Marines. Kumba Lady Marines? Yes, we played in Kumba with Ekon. They are a very good player, national team now. And she was part of that team and we won that game. When we won that game, I think for me, my fate in coaching had been sealed. This guy is going to be a coach.
Welcome back to Slam Dunk Basketball Talk. Felix Eupal is my name. In studio, we're with Moses Opio, the Betway Power publicist, and my co-host, Emmanuel Ateng. Mr. Opio, before we went for the break, we were discussing having a first Ugandan in the NBA. I don't know when Power hopes to have a play in the NBA.
Very soon, very soon.
Very soon?
Yes, we're working towards that.
Hopefully, we will start with the reason as to why you are here today. Something is being cooked up by Power Basketball Club as well as other partners. Please enlighten our viewers out there what that is and the dynamics of everything.
Okay. We have come up with a tournament called the Invite.
The Invite.
The Invite. So I'm also the head of publicity for the Invite and part of the organizing committee. And that's the main reason why I've come. I've not come to talk about Power, but I've come to talk about the Invite, the tournament.
Please. I would also love to know about the Invite.
Yes. So since the league was cancelled, we decided to come together and organize with the teams that had registered that they wanted to continue to play. So we started by contacting those teams. So the Invite is basically an invitational tournament. And we have about 6 teams.
6 teams confirmed?
Yeah, we have 6 teams confirmed. And we have 2 groups already. And the tournament is to start on 30th.
That is
which is next Saturday at the YMCA court.
To our viewers out there, we are live on Facebook and on our YouTube channel. Feel free, your comments, your remarks, your questions, relay them. We'll be reading them and going through. Which teams have confirmed, and is there a registration fee to be part of the Invite?
Yes, there's a registration fee. We have 6 teams. The first team, we have Power. We have Nam Blazers. We have Falcons.
Oh,
We
very
have-
interesting.
Yeah,
very interesting.
Yeah, we have UCU.
I'm eager to see Emma back in action.
Yes, Emma will be back in action this very weekend.
But I wonder if Falcons can assemble a full 12-man team.
We wait and see. They have been working towards that. We wait and see. We also have UPDF.
Okay.
Then there's
UPDF Tomahawks.
Yes, Tomahawks. Then we have Takan Locaries.
Takan Locaries.
Yeah, there's a team that came up together.
I haven't heard of that before in all the years I've been.
Yes,
Yeah.
they came up together. It's a new team.
Okay.
Yes, so they are planning for lower div next year. So they have to start by coming and play in the tournament. So basically, the tournament is meant to remember the fallen basketball players and members.
It's a tribute.
Yeah, it is a tribute
It's a very good gesture.
to all the fallen basketball members and family. So we will be playing to remember all those basketball players who are no longer with us. Yeah, so it will be a tribute to them. Yeah, so we have two groups. We have two groups. There's group A and group B. Group A has Namongo, Nam Blazers. It has Power, then it has Falcons. Yes, then group B has UPDF, UCU, and Takan Lacoris.
And Takan Lacoris.
Yeah, so
very interesting venture, and it will be, I believe, something very interesting for the game of basketball.
Yes.
Emma, how is Falcons set up for the invite?
You know, there's sometimes when you're in the kitchen cooking things, you don't need to let the people in the living room know what you're cooking.
At least they can smell the aroma and know that either it's chicken being prepared or beef.
Yeah, by the time you know Falcons is coming, 6-time champions, you know there's something cooking.
6-time champions who are almost relegated.
It's okay. We can take it to football and say Arsenal is suffering the same way, but they will come back one day.
They'll make a bounce back.
Yeah.
Mr. Opio,
Yes.
where is the tournament going to be and how long is it going to take?
the tournament it will be at the YMCA court.
Okay.
Every Saturday we shall have two games. To run for about six weeks.
6 weeks.
6 weeks. So every Saturday we have two games starting at 2 p.m.
Starting at
One
2 p.m.
game at 2 p.m., another game at 4 p.m.
Oh.
Yes, they are. So to run every weekend until we reach the top two teams will go straight to the semis in the 5th week.
In the 5th week.
Then in the 6th week we shall have third place playoff, then the finals.
6 teams. Why the decision to have only 2 games? Yet the fans out there are thirsty to watch basketball, to watch our local players, to watch their local stars, to watch the people that they see. Why 2 games only?
We had thought of having more games, actually starting early, if we had registered like more team, because it was the open invitational tournament. But since we only got 6, we decided to make it run so it can prolong it a bit. Because if we have more games, that means now we shall have we'll play games for a shortest period of time. But now to prolong it a bit for the excitement of the fans, we decided we have it in 6 weeks.
Is registration closed, or can another team still come and apply?
For now, the registration is closed because the 6 teams have already confirmed.
Yeah, I believe Falcons would be scared if another team joined in. Their chances to keep on dwindling.
I thought you asked him because you wanted to register a team for all timers.
We might bring a team from D League and it surprises everyone at the invite. Being at the YMCA, YMCA is an open court. Are fans going to be allowed?
For now, fans are not allowed, but we are in talks with NCS, National Council of Sport, and very soon we'll let the fans know.
You let the fans know. Very soon. The tournament is happening next weekend.
Next weekend.
Yes, so I believe the soon is about within this particular period.
Yes, by the time we have the press conference, we shall tell the fans.
Oh.
Yes.
I remember when the season was starting, the way Power unveiled and wow, that was actually something very brilliant. All of us were waiting for the traditional press conference. I remember we were having a discussion with Emma and was telling me, have you gotten the venue? Like, communication hasn't come in. Only for us to be there and boom,
everything was online.
Everything drop online.
Yes.
The signing of the contracts, and then unveiling the players, unveiling home kit, away kit. Well, that was a notch higher.
Yes, because of what happened last year, so we decided to do that, not to avoid the physical meeting and everything. Yeah, so that's why that was done.
Emma, what's your take on having a venture like this when the league is not on?
I think it actually even came late. I'm just glad that Betway Power actually, took up the mantle. It basically took basketball on its shoulders, to put it out there, because not having a league for 2 years is something that is really detrimental to the game of basketball. We can't say we had the league this year because it was on and off. So Betway and Power taking up the mantle is a really good thing, because one, it keeps that focus and the visibility of basketball still there. Then two, it keeps our fan base, because there are other sports that are vying for fans. Rugby took a couple of basketball fans, and right now basketball is suffering because of that. So if the tournament hadn't happened, we're going to lose more fans, and getting fans back, getting Ugandan fans back to a sport is a very hard thing. So big ups to them. Then also the players, the longer it takes for someone to get back into playing shape, some people just quit.
Yeah, others by the time they come back, they're way very unfit and prone to getting some nasty injuries that will put them out for a long time.
Yeah, so I believe that even when the league resumes next year, there are certain players that you're not going to see coming back to the game of basketball. But now, because of this tournament, those who would have thought of leaving the game are still going to be involved in the game of basketball, which is a very good initiative. I wish other teams could have also taken up the mantle to do the same thing as these guys did. Yeah.
Of all the teams that you have mentioned, there is no ladies team. In this particular tournament, weren't the ladies considered?
We thought of the ladies team, but for starters, we thought we start with the men's team, because we shall be having this tournament every year. Every off-season we shall be having. So
every off-season.
So I'm thinking next year we shall plan for the ladies.
So basically, this is a pilot project.
Yes, it is. It's going to be there every year.
So is it only Power behind this, or you have other partners on board?
We have partners on board. We have Betway. For starters, then we have Renzori, then we have Club Beer. Yeah, so they're behind all this.
Various seasons have gone on in basketball, in the National League, and teams, for example, the 7-time champion City Oilers, I don't even think they have ever gotten prize money for winning those 7 championships. Very many fans out there would love to know, what are these teams playing for? Is it just fun and passion? What is the prize for winning the invite?
Before we talk about the prize, we looked around the region and realized it's only in Uganda where basketball is not happening. If you go to Rwanda, basketball is happening. You go to Burundi, you go to Tanzania, it is happening. And that is not so good for our development. So that's why we decided let's have games to keep our players active, so that the league resumes when the players are fit, and we can be able even to participate out there with other teams from other countries. So we have organized trophies. Yeah, we have trophies as the prize. Because, as we are starting, so we just started. As we go on, we shall have prize money as well. For now, we have trophies.
It is Slam Dunk Basketball, and Mr. Moses Opio, the publicist of Betway Power, is telling us about the invite, a tournament that will be starting next weekend. It is an only invite tournament, but already registration is closed. We'll return after this short break as he breaks down more dynamics or surprises that might be happening.
Talent is here. Uganda's got talent. That one is not proven from boxing, Athletics now, Kenya, I mean, we came in the Olympics better than Kenya.
Yeah.
For how long have we been there struggling before? But now we had more medals than them. So the key thing here is corporate companies, please come aboard.
Yeah.
The government will do their part. They will also squeeze whatever they can to come through.
Yeah.
National councils will also keep on budgeting to see what they can do better on us. And also federations, all of them, basketball, football, whatever they come through. Let us have a fair share to everybody.
Yeah.
I know football gets the biggest share in Uganda. I don't know why, but because I know my small analysis is athletics and basketball right now, and netball. Those are the top 3 games in Uganda that have carried athletics, netball, basketball to continental and worldwide. We're doing so much.
Yeah.
So we need to also get a fair share to compete with football, which is getting $1 billion shillings plus.
Yeah.
We should be given that opportunity.
Welcome back to Slam Dunk Basketball Talk. Felix Eupal is my name. A new tournament and something new that has never happened in the game of basketball, the invite. It will be happening next Saturday. To the fans not being there, what assurance is there that they can be able to catch the games?
We are working on something for the fans to be there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, as I told you before, we are discussing actually with NCS. If they give us a go-ahead, then we shall have some few fans there. Yeah, but limited number. Of course, we have to observe all the SOPs. Yeah, if they are allowed to be there.
If they're allowed to be there.
Yes.
Emma, one of the reasons as to why the games were shifted when the league was on from YMCA was because of the surface.
Yeah.
And now the tournament is coming back where it's going to be at the YMCA. Do you think it will be safe enough in your view?
Before we even go to the surface, the YMCA is like the Raka Park of Uganda.
I love
it's
that
the
term,
equivalent.
Raka Park. Yeah.
It's the equivalent, yeah. It's like where legends were made, legends were born. Okay, so first of all, just having basketball back at the Y, it just has that nostalgic feeling to it. You know, you want to be back at the YMCA because when it was shifted to KIU, to UCU, to Lugogo, it's basketball, but
the feel wasn't the same amongst the fans.
You don't get the feel, you know, of YMCA. So it being at YMCA, first of all, very great idea, very good idea, taking us back to the home of basketball. But like you said, it has always suffered with the surface.
Yeah.
Okay, and that's one of the reasons why actually basketball was taken away from YMCA, among other reasons. And I don't know if Betway Power has dealt with the flow. The last I heard was that you guys were trying to fill up certain spots on court, so I don't know if, you know, because that's what FUBA used to do also. So I don't know how good the flow is.
Good thing is sitting
right here. I don't know how good the flow is.
He's sandwiched by both of us here in the studio, so you inclusive.
Yeah. I mean, pick up, like you said, pick up. Actually, there are very many courts that have opened up. You know, you have courts. There's one at Painters Arena in Chanja.
Yeah.
You have the Fusion down in Bugolobi. You have Don Bosco, Chireka side. Obviously, pool court is still there, and the main ground is there. It's good to see that they are.
Even the Bugolobi Flats court is being refurbished.
The Tropical Royals.
Yeah.
So it's good to see that we're actually getting a lot of facilities in the game of basketball. But like you said, pick up at YMCA was, you know, something. The team Tekan Lokeris, most of them actually are home guys of YMCA. So yeah, it would be good to actually see them, you know, come back on their home court. Yeah, but I'm glad that if they're actually doing the whole surface, then that is a very good thing for the game of basketball.
Switching topics from the invite to the fans out there, just be sure that a new tournament will be starting next weekend. Mr. Opio has given us assurance that the tournament will be streamed live for the number of fans who will not be able to access the venues. The tournament is going to be launched at a particular date, and he has said that will be soon. Hopefully at the end of the show he will be telling us how soon that will be. And Emmanuel, let's go to the other main thing that is happening in the local game of basketball, the Basketball Africa League, which is going to be taking place in Tanzania, Mombasa, starting next week.
Yeah. So
Uganda is being represented by the 7-time champions City Oil basketball team, and there's a lot of news and excitement, disappointment surrounding that whole Basketball Africa League.
Yeah. Well, it's good to see that we actually have a representative. Obviously, it's always City Oil that is representing Uganda, but when they go there, they cease to be City Oil. They are now carrying the Ugandan flag, basically. So I guess they leave Thursday next week for the tournament.
Yes. Their head coach confirmed the team will be traveling on Thursday, and then they'll have their first game on Friday, second game on Saturday, third game on Sunday.
Yeah, and hopefully they qualify. But one of the things that was surrounding the whole issue was that, you know, when teams are going for tournaments, they always want to keep their players, you know, under wraps. But news broke on which players were signed by City Oilers, which created a scouting problem because now the other teams were able to scout.
Very interesting topic. But before we continue, to our viewers out there, the Basketball Africa League is an elite league in Africa for the top clubs, and it is split into two, East and West. Now the Eastern division has three divisions made of a group of 4 teams. Then the West has 4 made of 4 teams. Now what happens is the top 2 qualify because it is played in rounds. Now if you not make it to the top 2, you cannot make it to the second round. The second round will be happening in December. Now what we're discussing happened as on earlier this week when news was broken at City Oil basketball team was bringing in an American center. Emma, you can help me with the pronunciation there. It was quite
Nigerian called Okwonko.
Please to the viewers. Okwonko. Yes. I was the name was giving me quite a difficulty. Then they have also added on City UCU canon forward Titus Love, and then former JKL point guard John Balegre. Then the debutant on our Silverback team, Muhammad Gedi, who also doubles as Haji Muhammad Santurul's son, who is the manager of City Oil basketball team. Now, online, the discussion and disappointment was that Ugandan media is not patriotic enough, and the rush to actually break news as journalists is actually making a disservice, because basically the argument was that the media scouted for the opposition what City Oil is going to do. As someone who's in charge of publicity for a basketball team, what is your opinion on that particular matter?
I thought they shouldn't have published that. I thought they would have kept it under wraps until maybe when they play the first game.
But nonetheless, when you go to play a tournament, you have to be sure that for you to get out there, you have to beat the best. Yes. So why hide under a cover, but instead of showing your opponent, well, this is the type of gun that I have, because we are going to war.
If you've been noticing, City Oil actually, even when we have the National League, they don't always unveil players. If you've been following them for some time, you just see them coming on court with a new player. Unless you go on to their practice ground, that's when maybe you can discover that they have new players. They don't.
You see, I'm viewing this in a catch-22 situation. Yes. Because as media, we're also obliged to actually channel out that information to the public. That is one of our key responsibilities, letting the public know what they don't know, what is happening behind curtains, because that is why basically media is described as watchdogs. Emma, do you concur with me or not?
Yeah, I'm also 50-50.
You're also 50-50 on this.
For me, I think the media is supposed to be the voice, because if you say you're a media person for basketball, you're supposed to be that voice for basketball, and the positive way to help the game. Yes.
Coach Mande Juruni was telling me that he's also not happy with having his players actually being announced out there.
Yes, he may not be happy, but he has nothing to do now.
But in my view, it works best, because when the other team thinks that now we can plan for this other team, that means that you have options B and C, because you can't go in a tournament of that caliber with only one option. Yeah.
Actually, I think they're actually good to compete. I think they will really compete, and I expect them to qualify to the next round.
Yeah.
Yes.
In my view, it gives City Oil an advantage of surprising the other teams.
But how are you going to surprise someone? It's like
because they will expect you to have a different starting five based on the roster that you have, and boom, your starting game, you have a different starting five, and your starting five, let's say, just come in the third quarter.
But Felix,
already that will deter your
you've played cards before. If I know all the cards in your hand, it doesn't matter what you do.
No, but you don't know which one I'm going to play first.
But I know them.
Yes, but you know them, but you don't know how I'm going to be rolling them out.
But still, it gives me an advantage over you.
No, he's going to play this one next. Yeah, you think about what the opponent will do.
Yes.
They'll say, now this is the next one. For me, what would I do? That's what they are doing. So you can scout and know.
And one of the other big questions that was also online and on Twitter were, now that there are 4 inclusions, who has been chopped from the City Oil team? And I got confirmation earlier about the changes that have happened, and some of them actually were jaw-dropping in my ears. One of the changes is that Landry Ndikumana has been from the team, not the team that is going to the BAL Championship, but from City Oil basketball team. Joseph Ikong has been dropped from the team as City Oil. Hopefully, Power is happy; they can get back their captain. then Fidel Okoth, the center from Kenya, has also been dropped from the team, as well as Stephen Omon. Those 4 are no longer part of the City Oil team. However, the 3 additions, minus, please pronounce the name, Okonko, will be part, will just be part of the BAL Championship, then head back. To Mr. Opio, what is your take on the changes, the players that have been let go by the 7-time champions?
Officially, I've only seen 2 players that they had released officially. That's what came out, Makiadi and Joseph Ikong. But of course, I heard about Fidel getting a team in Oman. So he wasn't just dropped, but he got a team, so he can't come. He got a better deal, I think, in Oman. So he cannot come back. Stephen Omoin was already dropped like last year, because he was not even part of the team.
I think it's because of perhaps the constant knee injuries.
Yeah, after the knee surgery, then they dropped him. Yeah, I think now they're trying to change it, because when I talked to Aji about 2 weeks ago, he said now he's trying to bring in new players. It's one of the reasons why he dropped some of those players. He's trying to groom now a young team. He's thinking about the future, which is a good thing.
Emma, you are a coach, and do you think that is a smart move by City Oil management?
Yeah, the thing about City Oil is that they're very smart in the way they do everything, even in the way they recruit their players, the way they sign their players. Okay, so they don't just go out into the market and say, okay, this person is good, let's put him into the team. No, there is always a plan and a structure in the way that they do their thing. So even dropping those players was not really a big surprise, because for the level of basketball that they're going to, they needed players that can actually fill those gaps. Yeah, so first of all, it was not a surprise. Makiadi didn't get to play any game at all. The league was cancelled. Ikong played 2 or 3 games here
Kong
and there.
played, if I recall, 3 games.
Yeah, 3 games here and there. Okay, and like you said, Fidel got a better deal. Landry couldn't stay here with the league on
That
hold.
is actually that's why I described it as jaw dropping.
Yeah,
Because he has been a very focal player in the titles that they have won.
yeah,
And him and basically James Okello have been controlling that paint
yeah,
for City L for like
For
the
City
past
L, yeah.
5 years.
yeah,
They have been the 2 anchor men that they have been relying on.
yeah.
Now you get one of those anchors and you drop it. To me, I found it very, very surprising.
It
Yeah.
doesn't have to do with City Oil alone dropping Landry.
Yeah.
Actually, I think his family played a big part in his. He has been here like over five years.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, so they wanted him to go back and be home this time. So I think he decided finally to go back home.
Yeah.
Yeah, so City Oil had no choice but to let him go.
To let him go.
And I think he got a better deal when he went to play back for Urunani.
That is his
tournament.
former team.
That's
Yeah.
his former team.
That's where City Oil got,
that's
got him
where
from.
he is.
Yes.
Yeah, so, it
So-
was a good deal for him, really.
Well, hopefully every change comes with different surprises, and we hope that everything will work out well.
Yeah.
And some people were wondering, Cesar Chizito is still on the team, the future. So is Ivan Muhwezi. So that is what some discussion Emma and Mr. Opio would like us to have. So Cesar and Landry, who would you choose?
Of course, Landry. I would choose Landry.
You will choose Landry.
Yes.
Emma, Cesar Chizito, Landry Ndukumana, having them in your forward position.
First of all, they don't really play much of the same position.
That is true.
Yeah, so if you're comparing Caesar to someone who's playing the same position, then would have an argument about that. But they don't play in the same position.
But Cesar is a dynamic player. You can switch him to different positions. And Landry also, he can play on the top. And he's also a very big threat, when it comes to him being in the paint.
Yeah,
And defensively, he's going to give you that all. Then offensively, he's also going to be a menace in the paint. When hit comes up, he's going to drop for you a shot outside the arc.
yeah. But you see, Landry is more of an inside player. He comes out to shoot the ball here and there, just to create some relief. Okay, Caesar is more of an outside player. He's a forward. Okay, he's going to post once if he has a smaller, forward on him here and there. But you can't really compare the two. Landry is a post player. Caesar is a forward. Okay, but if we're comparing, let's say, Okello and Landry, then they would have an argument and say, okay, who would you drop?
Who would I drop?
Yes. Yeah.
There, I would drop James Okello.
Why would you drop James Okello? Mr. City Oil.
To tell you the truth, Landry he was the smartest big man we had in the league.
Yeah.
To be honest, he was the smartest.
Mr. Pio, as we wind up and we're discussing teams having the cat let out of the bag, what does Power have in stake ahead of the tournament?
Power,
I believe the fans out there, the viewers, they really want to know, because I'll first give it some perspective.
Yes.
Yes. Prior to the other season, you shipped off 3/4 of the team. Prior to the start of the season, a new crop came in. Then there was a halt. Then another crop of fresh players was brought in. Now, to the invite, where you are actually the hosts, what changes have been made?
Quite a number of changes. We brought in more players, though we are yet to unveil them. Yeah. So
Any names being dropped?
Like Gucci didn't come back. Gucci left.
The point guard formerly from DJN.
Yes, he did not come back. And Miss said didn't also come back. Camelo. Camelo hadn't.
Saidi.
Yes, he hadn't come back also. But we
That's
hope
a big blow to your.
For the tournament. We shall have him in the league the coming year. Yeah, but for now we are basically relying on the young players. We recruited some high school players. We have about 4
high school players.
Yes. So we are also building for the future.
We're looking at continuity.
Yes, that's what we are looking at. And next year we hope to come back on top. Actually,
Come back on top.
That's what we are working towards.
Because this particular season has been drastic for you. 5 losses in a row. There's also the issue of the coaching staff was also shipped off, and there's new coaching staff. I believe, Emma, you're also eager to know if Power have a new coaching team on board.
Well, since we dropped the previous coaches, the new ones that we brought on board was Banis and Kunda and Caro Bisereko. We still have those 2.
You still have those 2?
Yeah, you still have
so
those 2.
So they're still intact?
Yeah, they're still intact.
Come next Saturday, we shouldn't expect to see a different person on the touchline.
Yes, you will see those 2. You will see those 2.
Emma, any new surprises from Falcons Basketball Club, the 6-time champions?
Really no new surprises. Whoever you saw in the league, in the first part of the season, are the same players that are going to be there. So no surprises there. Same players, same team, but with a new focus.
What is that focus?
To win something this year.
To win something this year?
Yes.
That's a big target that you are setting for
Very big one.
A team that also first started with a losing streak of 4 games in a row.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a very big target.
But
don't you think the what should I call them? The anticipation should be minimal.
You should. There's a saying that you should always aim for the moon. If you miss, you land somewhere on the stars. So you can't be aiming for the roof here, then land on the ground somewhere. So you should always keep your expectations high, even for a team like Falcons. We always want to be at the top. We have 6 championships, trying to chase City Oil, but also the other teams trying to catch up. Power is right there behind us. So our expectations are high. If we can get something this year, it would be good momentum for our next season. So we're trying to build the momentum with the players we have. And see what we get by the end of the tournament, I believe somewhere in December.
Mr. Opio, finally, as we wind up,
yes.
When the season was going to resume just recently, each team was required to pay 600,000 shillings, and that money was meant for the COVID tests.
Yes. It was not meant for the COVID tests, it was meant to run the league.
Yeah. Part of it was meant for the COVID test, and then the other to facilitate the ESCOM committee with running the league.
True.
Now, for the invite, what measures are there? Because you already mentioned that all SOPs have to be followed.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. Teams are taking care of their testing of their players, but of course we got for them the medical equipment and the medical at a subsidized cost for them. That is affordable for all. And testing will happen every 2 weeks. Every 2 weeks. So meaning that the entire tournament, the teams will test like 3 times.
Test 3 times. So Power is providing the medical personnel.
Yes, we have the medical personnel. We
then
have
the teams are taking care of the financial bit
of the cost of testing.
Quite something. The other problem that we had previously, and we discussed this with Emma quite a number of times, is that players were meant to test regularly when the league was going on, but they tested just twice. And it just came to a halt.
According to NCS, we are supposed to test every 2 weeks.
Yes, that is what is on paper and everything.
Yes.
But then it came down to implementation.
So for us, we are implementing everything to the dot.
Implementing that to the
yes. That's why we went ahead and got the medical personnel, got the medical equipment to ensure that every team should test.
Emma, I would argue that with the number of sponsors that Mr. Opio has mentioned, they would be taking care of the costs also for the players taking part. What do you think?
It would be a good thing for them to carry that financial burden, but carrying the financial burden for 6 teams is also not something easy. So the good thing that they did is that they got a medical team and subsidized. So what you would normally pay as a high price has really been broken down. So each team also, it's good for your team. So you need to take the responsibility to ensure that your players are tested and are negative, because you're not going to be playing the tournament the whole time. You have practice sessions, you have your own life that you're living. So it's also a good thing for you to know that you're negative the whole time. So the teams paying just a little amount, for the testing shows that they're also taking responsibility for their club and their players, which really is not a bad deal.
Among the partners that you mentioned, I did not hear a medical person in case of player getting injured and what. How is that being catered for?
We have Rocket Medical. Yeah, they are on board also. Yeah, for the medical part. Yeah. Of course, no, we have Linda, I feel like the commissioner for FUBA. She's part of the organizing committee.
Okay.
Yeah, so she's running everything concerning medical. Yeah, so as far as medical is concerned, that area is well covered.
Oh, brilliant things that Power is actually doing. Like you said, other teams should be picking a leaf from that. As we wind up, so Power basketball team has changed management. There is new management. Just sum that up as we wind up the show.
Yes, our president is still Patrick Okot Balim. Yeah, then the general manager is Alan Musoke.
Oh, Alan Musoke comes back.
Yes, then the treasurer is Julius Wapera, the one there. You always call him Chef. Yeah, then we have Linda Wafila as the team manager. Okay. Then you have me as the publicity manager. And then we have Philip as the general secretary.
I was wondering where his name is going to be in the new management team.
Yeah, so that's the new management team.
Quite impressive thing. Hopefully Falcons also has a new management team when the league resumes. We'll be hearing from that when we invite their manager. It has been Slam Dunk Basketball. In studio, I've been with Mr. Opio Moses, who is the publicist of Betway Power Basketball Club. They will be having a tournament starting next Saturday. The tournament is dubbed The Invite. 6 teams have confirmed participation. It will be happening at the YMCA grounds, and City Oil basketball team will be representing us in the Basketball Africa League, which kicks off next weekend in Dar es Salaam, Tanzania. Thank you so much, and my co-host has been Emmanuel Ateng. Catch you at the next episode.
Talent is here. You can got in talent. That one is not proven. From boxing, athletics. Now Kenya, I mean, we came in Olympics better than Kenya. For how long have we been there struggling before? But now we had more medals than them. So the key thing here is corporate companies please come aboard. The government will do their part. They will also squeeze whatever they can to come through. National councils will also keep on budgeting to see what they can do better on us. And also federations, all of them, basketball, football, whatever they come through. Let us have a fair share to everybody. I know football gets the biggest share in Uganda. I don't know why, but because I know my small analysis is athletics and basketball right now, and netball. Those are the top 3 games in Uganda that have carried athletics, netball, basketball. Continental and worldwide, we're doing so much. So we need to also get a fair share to compete with football, which is getting $1 billion shillings plus. We should also be given that opportunity.